We'll get started. This is Fast Track Lesson 1. Someone asked me also recently, how do you teach that every single week? I love it. I love helping people with the foundation and the fundamentals. Thankfully, it's not like it was when I started around a kitchen table, Cindy, with Posey Piles and Shelby Jean Piles' napkins, writing on napkins. Now we have these great videos that we can learn. Every which way that you can learn this program, God has provided a way. So we go in here and we've got our dashboard, and we want to start with the fast track, okay? And then you want to start right here with fast track videos. You also want to go through these laps. Go through the 7 laps, learn to find your resources and your tools. You'll need them. You may not need them today, but later on, when you hit a lull, you'll learn about wow challenges, and there's just all kind of helps that we have at your disposal. So learn to navigate the website by going through your laps. Then go to Fast Track Videos. Here are your resources that are available to you for download, especially your combination chart. That's one that you want to be well acquainted with, is the combination chart. So do that and then go through these little videos. Now, what I do in here Monday through Friday is talk about these, fill in the gap. You'll be able to learn it through osmosis, coming to listen to me every week, but it's slow if you just do that. Or you can couple me with these fast track pre-recorded videos that are short, and that's even better. And then even furthermore, you can take the book and read through the book while we're going through this each week, and you will master nutrition for weight loss. You will master it, okay? So let's make this our week. If you don't know what to eat after today, that's fine. You're going to learn more about what to eat. And if you just want to get started before you learn the program, which, hey, the quicker the better, get a meal plan from Lisa. She'll provide you with a meal plan, and then we'll be teaching you how you can start coming up with your own meal plans. So that's that. At 10:30, we'll go into the journey. Today, we're talking about our why. Lesson 1 is about the why. So you have to have a big, big why. You're going to be tempted on a daily basis. We have a few people in the Zoom room from the first text. Am I in the wrong room? There's no telling with me. Nope, I'm in the right one. Maybe people went in the journey session for 10:30. I might have typed something wrong. I'm apt to do that when I start trying to do 5 things at one time. Maybe y'all can tell them I'm here, but I'll be there if they're in that one at 10:30. So fast track, we start with the why. You have to have a why. Again, don't let this fall on deaf ears because I say it every week. You have to have a why, and it's going to be ever evolving. When I started, I said, I want Brad Pitt abs. Boy, has that changed. I'm not even interested in Brad Pitt abs anymore. I'm not interested in that. Hey, if they showed up, fine, but I'm not interested. But that got me going in the beginning. You know, I had self-esteem issues and whatnot. So your why is going to evolve. Whatever gets you going, whatever gets the juices to flowing. Maybe it's getting ready to take your grandkids to Six Flags over Georgia this summer. Maybe that's it. And last time you couldn't ride a ride with them. That happened to me one time. So maybe
she's pushing now.
Maybe that's your why. So you have to have a why greater than temptation. The Bible tells us too that we have to write our vision and our goals on the tablets and write them down plainly, because if we run after that goal, we're more likely to achieve it. But if we don't have a written goal, we're just beating at the air. You have to have a goal. You have to have a deadline for that goal. You know, there's another great quote. If you don't have a deadline for your goals, it's just a wish. Never going to happen. So you put together realistic expectation, goals, deadlines, and then you get really excited about it. Some people use a vision board. I have started Karen brought me some sticky notes to put on the books as I was signing them. And I thought, you know, I hadn't used stickies in forever. And then I was just moved to put down some quotes and stick them on my mirror in there in the bathroom. Just that has kept me more engaged. Like one of them was that getting old is aging is seeking comfort, but it causes a quicker demise. And what we need to do is fight against that comfort and keep resisting with weight training, with walking. So I wrote that. Otherwise, I'd give in to my natural proclivity to sit on the couch at the end of the day. So you got quotes there. You've got them on the fridge. I used to put a picture of me. This is sad, isn't it? I used to put a picture of Big Travis in the fridge. So when I opened it, that's how unaware I was of my eating, Terry, was that I was so unaware I could literally get in the pantry and eat something before I even knew what happened. I was on subconscious autopilot, and then I would have regret. So I would put a picture of Big Travis, may not be your thing, and it was appetizing for the entire household. A picture of Big Travis right there in the fridge. I'd go, I don't need anything. So you've got to have a why, whether it's on poster board or you use one of these tools or just a notebook. Just give me something, okay? So when I go in here to vision and goals, I can set up an awesome vision tracker. I can set up the title of my goal, what category it is, as many as I want, earn badges for completion of them. You can set audio to your slideshow, and then you put painful images and the positive vision. For me, a positive vision was me spending more time with my loved ones. I would put a picture of that. A positive vision was putting the amusement park. I don't ever want to be told I can't ride a Ferris wheel with my grandson. Maybe a positive vision is those Brad Pitt apps. I remember when I was teaching in Carrollton, Georgia, a little girl, maybe 13, 14, she said, she read her hand. We were all giving our whys. And I said, yes, ma'am. Cause you know, a bunch of adults in there. And she said, and she was what most people would call, like I was in high school, a little awkwardly built. And she said, I want a body like Miley Cyrus. And she sat down and all the adults started getting on to her. And I watched the countenance of her face slump. And I couldn't help but say, you know what? Yeah, I know we're amongst Christians here and y'all may not like Miley, but that's her goal. Don't take a go. She'll grow out of that. I didn't say that in front of a little girl, but as we talked about it later, she'll grow out of that. But, you know, as long as it's not unreasonable. She didn't say she wanted to act like Miley. She said she wanted a body like Miley. That's her goal. So we don't ever want to take a go. Whatever is important to you, doesn't matter how silly it is to someone else, use that as a catalyst for change. The more powerful motivator is your pain. That's the power. That's what gets you up and gets you moving. Where pain will get you up and get you moving, because comfort doesn't. Pain, you know, you got 100 pounds to lose, you lose 30, you tend to get complacent. The pain got you up, and that's a good thing. It won't keep you going. Only a vision for a positive, powerful future will keep you going, okay? So you got that vision tracker there that you can set up. Then a quicker one, and I kind of like this one sometimes even better, is the My Vision for My Life worksheet. So I go into here and I go to My Vision for My Life, and then I can create on a day as many of these as I want and print them out or link them on your home screen to your phone so you can just click it right before you eat at the Applebee's or Cracker Barrel or whatever. So you got your I am statements, your ideal weight, and we talk about things here with this one like the Bible tells us to do. Speak powerfully and positively. Speak about a thing as if it already has happened even before it happens. That's a part of us having faith. And how we define ourselves becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. When I was trying to lose weight, I would often say, I am overweight, but I would use the at-fe word. I am overweight and I don't want to be. But I learned over time to go and put, I am lean and under 200 pounds, even when I was much heavier. And all of that come to pass because you will act and behave based upon your definitions of how you see yourself. That is life. To live is Christ, to die is gain. The more that we try to follow our hero, Jesus, we will begin to behave more and more like him given time. And we will conform over time to his image and likeness. So try that worksheet there. So you need a big old why. Why has to be greater than whatever the most tempting food is. If you want it more than your goal, and if you're sitting there looking at a cream puff or a chocolate glazed donut, Angela, if we're looking at it, think about looking at it. If I'm looking at that and I have it in my hand, and in this hand I have my goals and I'm looking at my goals, if you want that cream puff or that donut, your goal ain't big enough. Now, I know in a moment we forget about our goals because we're dealing with three of us, the spirit, the flesh, and the mind. But if you'll just stop and make it a part of your daily method of operation, you've got the tempting food here, and you know it tastes good but causes weight gain, and you've got your vision and goals here. They cost a little more because they take a little time. You've got them here. If the goals don't outweigh that chocolate cake, so much so that you can't even stand the thoughts of the donut, that goal is not big enough. You have to make those goals really, 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 really big. And then as soon as they wear out, you got to find a new one, such as life. Every one of us here are driven by one thing. If you don't remember anything else today, help me to remember this and let me help you to remember this. Everyone here is on a journey, and that journey is one thing. There's nothing else. We can seek money, we can seek fame, we can seek a better body. There's nothing else but this one thing. You are on a journey whereby you will conform to the image and likeness of Christ. That's what this whole life is about. And the further we are away from that image, the more painful the process. But the more we submit and subdue and surrender, the easier that process is. So as you're going through that journey, there's going to be a lot of growth. There's going to be a lot of change. I remember when I was in my late 20s, I wanted a car like a Camaro. I could care less about that stuff now. My goals have changed. You will change. Stay on top of it. Take your effort and multiply it times 2 today. Take your excuses and divide them by 2 today. The Bible says that you and I are inexcusable because we have the Holy Ghost living within us. The regenerative, creative power of all things that are seen and not seen lives inside of you. Will you let it flourish today? So come up with a big vision for yourself, reconfirm your values and what's important, and that's lesson 1. Tomorrow, lesson 2, we'll start looking at our shibboleth shield. That's our lifestyle. That's our way of living as it relates to our nutritional lifestyle. And I'll go on and say this. There's so many options and opportunities for you. That's part of the problem. At some point, unless you want to be a loner, you've got to pick a program that's practical, sustainable, and a whole lot of fun, and you got to marry it. You got to live with that program, whether it's Weight Watchers. If Weight Watchers is working, we're not proselyting you. Stay at Weight Watchers because it's working. You need a plan that's practical, sustainable, and fun. This is a matter truly of life and death. It's that serious. That serious. Any questions, comments, fellowship, anything that I can do for you before we go to the journey? Good to have everybody. Anybody?
I have something.
Please.
As y'all know, my why when I first started was my daughter having to push me in the wheelchair and really struggling with it. And of course, I lost 273 pounds. I've regained 100, but I'm down 24 from that 100. So by Christmas time, I'll be perfectly fine.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about it a bit. However, uh, I love Shibby and everything, but my while I was in the hospital and in rehab and all of that, uh, my children had brought a bunch of crap in the house. And so I've been getting my cabinets back Shibby style all weekend and everything. But I got to looking at my children, and my daughter, she's autistic, but she's type 1 diabetic and has a ton of health problems, ton of autoimmune problems, a lot of food allergies. My other daughter has heart issues, and she has Ehlers-Danlos where her bones dislocate and break at the slightest touch. She also has autoimmune issues and food allergies. They both have too much weight on them for health purposes. My oldest daughter, she's in med school, she's fine. But she's like size 15, 16, which is too heavy for her frame with all of her muscle and joint issues. My other daughter, that's the autistic with the type 1, she's a size 20. I'm smaller than both of these girls, but I'm still way too heavy. How do I incorporate feeding them better with all their health issues? And I mean, they're my new why. Not only do I want myself healthy, but I want to set a good image for them and to help them get healthy as well. So that's where I'm at. Given all the autoimmune and stuff, like they can't use MCT oil due to allergy to coconut, and it comes from there. So that restricts us on our oils and things that they can only use non-dairy butter due to extreme anaphylactic shock reaction to milk. The almond milks and things are very non-shibby. I'm having to find a way to incorporate shibby into their habits as well. And I was doing separate cooking and everything for me and them, but I'd like to incorporate it somehow. So I'm looking for guidance on that.
How do they react to ghee? Is that a no-no?
Ghee is made from butter, which is a
Yeah.
milk product. So they would have the only thing I can use with them is the 0 calorie spray,
Yeah.
but that don't help like for butter purposes or dairy purposes because they got to have the calcium. So they have to have like the almond milk or the oat milk. They prefer the oat milk. And
Yeah.
of course, how can I bridge that somehow?
That's tough. Um,
I mean, because
Off
it's a
the top of
medical
my
thing.
head, yeah, off the top of my head, the like if I was working with them one on one, I would want them to send me a list of foods that they know they can eat, or
Hmm.
a list of foods they cannot eat, and then I would do them a meal plan based upon that, trying to
Hmm.
find enough variety that they
Yeah.
stick with it. But that's what I have to do. I'd have to give it some thought.
Okay.
There's definitely a way. It's just their variety is going to be minimized. Um,
Yeah. I mean, they love fruits and veggies. They're not much on meat. Now, my daughter that has the severe dairy allergy, she loves seafood. Seafood, Shrimp Alfredo's her favorite, things like that. But she has to use the vegan and the gluten-free and the dairy-free. It makes it hard.
Yeah. Well, a lot of the autoimmune issues, I think, what scares me, and I'm not a doctor, from what
Hmm.
I've learned in working with clients, all the things you're talking about are so heavy in oxalates and cause autoimmune issues. So what's strange to me is that the things that they can have is what's causing the problem.
She was also a preemie and she doesn't have the enzymes to digest milk. So she's got that on top of the allergy.
Yeah.
So she
Milk,
can't even do the yogurts or anything.
milk never does the body good.
Hmm.
Now, let me ask you this. I know you made it clear that they can't have the dairy, but ghee is a clarified butter. Have they tried ghee? Okay.
Yeah, she had to have her EpiPen from just the slightest little touch of it.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Oh, they're hard. It's
Yeah,
hard to feed them because I have to use gluten free. I have to use restrict soy to minimal usage. A
yeah.
little bit's okay, but then they start having joint issues from it. So I have to be very careful with that. No butter, no dairy, no milk.
Everything that they can have is even worse for them. So
I know.
my concern would be like you now, did you say they just won't eat meat?
They don't care for meat. They not really. They would prefer to be vegetarian, but
That's causing the
yeah,
problem.
exactly.
That's
Exactly.
what's the seed oils, they're
Hmm.
horrible.
Yeah.
So and then they don't even have the enzymes to deal with the oxalates. So
Hmm.
if they we just have to look at it together deeply and try to find
Hmm.
some way to negotiate with them. Like if they would eat meat, if you go read about what's the I got to go to the next class, but the philosopher
Hmm.
that's so popular right now, do you know who I'm talking about? He's from Canada, Jordan Peterson.
Okay.
The carnivore diet saved his life. I'm not for a carnivore diet,
Hmm.
not saying that, but like they won't eat meat, but that may be the very thing that clears up all these issues. So
Yeah.
I'd
I
have to
mean,
see a full list because there's so much there. Us just talking like a full list.
hmm.
Of, I will eat these foods, and then I can help them get creative about how to eat those
Okay.
foods. But it's the things that they're feeling they enjoy that's
Hmm.
adding to the problem too.
Yeah, I know. My oldest daughter's favorite thing is roasted cherry tomatoes and garlic made into marinara, pure cat threes.
Well, but come back though. Here's where I can help. So say that again. Let me make sure I don't miss anything. Say
Uh,
that.
it's homemade marinara sauce that I make with roasted tomatoes and onions and garlic.
Okay, that's fine. So those tomatoes, if nightshades don't cause them a problem, they're
Hmm.
very low glycemic.
Yeah.
So that's a good dish. So if we could come up with 15, 20 dishes like that, but we just have to add a protein, will they eat hemp hearts or hemp flakes? Those are non-allergenic.
They will. They will.
So like what you just said, because tomatoes are lower glycemic, you could add hemp hearts or hemp flakes to that. They could get their protein, and that would be a fantastic non-allergenic dish that they could enjoy and lose weight.
Yeah, but they would have to mix it with a gluten-free pasta though. And I can't
Well,
find any that are fit the guidelines.
okay, well, let's come back then. So when you say they can't have any pasta, they can't
No,
have
they can, but it has to be the gluten-free
but
ones.
like zucchini pasta?
They love zucchini.
Yeah,
I do that. I do spaghetti squash.
yeah.
We incorporate as many of the vegetables for a pasta substitute.
This is
And
why
the zucchini is their favorite.
this is why people get in trouble. We got to go to Journey, but I want to share
Mhm.
with everybody what you just seen.
Okay.
So where you get in trouble is if you got like we just come up with one potential meal that they may or may not eat.
Hmm.
Where we get in trouble is for you them to make it a lifestyle. You have to have 15 to 20 type meals for them to incorporate that are like that. That would work. They might enjoy that, right? Spaghetti.
Oh, they would love it.
Okay. That was a 10-minute negotiation with us trying to help them. So when we go to a doctor, this is why people get so mad with doctors. They're dealing with sick people all day and they can't help with coming up with 20 meals. They just send you out with a medication. So here, I don't mind helping anybody. It's just a time thing. But we got to have, like you just seen with us, there's a lot of things we have to think about. You have to have at least 20 of those meals or they'll never be able to make it. But if you'll give me more ideas like that, I can, between your wisdom and mine, we can come up with what they need.
Okay, I'll gladly book a one-on-one with you then, and we can figure it out.
Yeah, heck yeah. That's good though. I just made myself hungry with us talking about that one.
Yeah, the kids love the garden.
Yeah, good
That
deal.
that comes from me raising them, tending their garden. They love it.
I'm going to run to Journey. I a little bit late. Thank you for doing that. I think it helps us all because lots of people have these issues. Geraldine, I did forget to stream it. Would you take the recording and put it in the members only group later when it processes? Thank you. I'm going to close us out in prayer. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done in the earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day, Lord, our daily bread. Forgive us of our debts as we forgive our debtors. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever. Amen. Thank y'all. We'll see you over there.